let me repeat why diaphragm area is so important. There are two huge reasons there. The reason number one is the diaphragm is the most engaged and the most recruited and most used respiratory muscle. Officially, about 90%, if you go by measurements, about 90% of your respiratory drive comes from the diaphragm. So the more we can get the diaphragm in action, the more we can contribute to the respiratory drive throughout the entire system. So that's the first logic. Second logic is a little bit less obvious, but maybe even more important. Because now, when we talk about the immunity and the potential capacity of the lungs and the upper respiratory airways to deal with the risks of the infections, well, in this situation, you need the number one factor, health of mucous membranes and the mucus production, removal, flow, and so on. So that's really the key thing. At the end of the day, the opportunity for viruses, bacteria, fungus, whatever, other like all these infection agents comes if a person's or if your channel's mucous membranes and the whole mechanisms of the production, viscosity and removal of mucus is not working well. If it's either excessive or deficient and doesn't really work well. So, but to impress you, right? To impress you with the numbers, your lungs produce 30 liters, right? Like 30 liters, 30,000 milliliters of mucus per day, which you don't see. You know, if you cough and spit, you know, I don't know what, few spoons per day, that's it. But then it's 30 liters, like 3 huge buckets. You might ask, where does it all go? And that's the answer. It goes through the diaphragm. The diaphragm filters it through, so this liquid is reabsorbed within the body. There's nothing unique about it, right? So you have to understand that there is a lot more flow going inside the body than outside. You know, another example would be, kidneys, right? So kidneys filter about 200 liters per day. 200 liters is like it's a full bathtub, you know, like it's, 200 liters, I'm 90 kilos, so I'm 90 liters of water, so that means that 2 full volumes of me is being filtered every day. But what's the urine component? Maybe 1.5, 2 liters. So it's less than 1% that goes out. So the same way, or even more intensely, is the performance of the diaphragm. So that's what you really have to keep in mind. So therefore, this additional stimulus to the diaphragm is really, really important. So that's the thing that we really want to make sure that all of you get this component of the additional stimulus to the diaphragm.